it looks like Quentin Tarantino has finished writing his first stage play. It'll be titled The Popinjay Cavalier. And here's the synopsis. Set in 1830s Europe, The Popinjay Cavalier is a rambunctious comedy of deception and disguise, inspired by the grand swashbuckling epics of stage and screen, a sweeping celebration of theater and its heightened romance, told with Tarantino's signature style of unmistakable wit. And the play will premiere in London's West End in early 2027. I don't know. That doesn't really sound Tarantino-ish, but
I will have to argue. To me, it kind of does, because in the film Singing in the Rain, the main movie that they're working on over the course of the film is a swashbuckler like that. And
interesting.
The whole commentary on like how ridiculous, like there's a screening where the audio doesn't sync right and they're arguing, and it's hilarious because it looks like the lady has a dude's voice when she's clearly saying no, but you're hearing the word yes, and then when he's speaking, he's saying, you hear the word yes even though he's clearly,
you get that.
Anyways, blah blah blah.
Sense of comedy, and
but the action is still present. And then there's still the stress of the movie getting made itself. This is also classic Hollywood, like old school Hollywood that we all know he loves and adores. So
true.
To me, it just kind of makes sense because that was such a pivotal point in the golden age of Hollywood filmmaking. That was a story that would get kicked up a lot in the UK and here in the US. It's ripe for the picking. I think we think of the Westerns and things more often, but in other places, especially in the UK, the swashbucklers were always getting made. So,
but I kind of do like that because we haven't seen that side of Tarantino, and I feel like him doing a stage play will also be such a unique, because he has a distinguished voice that I feel like stage plays are more tame, and his will be more broad and kind of unrelentlessly him, which would be nice.
Yes. Yeah. Unapologetic in his voice, for sure. Now that is classic Tarantino. So, it sounds intriguing to me. I'm curious what the reviews are going to be like.
Right.
Obviously not going to make it out there to see the
shit.
So.
But I do wonder if this hits well in the West End, if they'll bring it to Broadway and off-Broadway and tour it around America. I feel like it's the only logical move. Or do you think they'll do like a Hamilton-style thing where they'll record it, release it in theaters first, dip the toes?
I really hope that, because then at least if he ends up having a say in how that is produced, we're getting another added layer of the visual aspects, and the focus will be brought into the shots, the angles, the coverage that he'll want to have covered.
See, because that's the thing. He doesn't have control of that on stage, which is interesting. Because in camera, you get to edit the shit out of it and frame fuck it and have your camera, but the audience sees. But I feel like he'll be very meticulous the way he'll kind of direct on stage and what we'll see. And like he's proved with like Hateful Eight and films like that, he can do a contained piece.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've no doubt he can do a single location, even if it's not a single location. But, the fact that all of your performers are in this one space and nothing's getting to get to change that drastically, really. Yeah, that's well within his wheelhouse.
And what do you think? Do you think he'd get like the average staple of like Tarantino's actors in his movies? Do you think we'll get like a Sam Jackson and some of these other guys, or do you think he'll go more like stage actors? Although I guess everyone kind of does everything nowadays. I don't think he's done it before. That could be interesting.
To me, it leans more that direction of I'm sure he could get a lot of his normal corral of performers. But there's going to be a few who just be excited purely for that reason. Or just like, oh, yeah. No, I would love to get on stage again. But then, there's also there's plenty of extremely talented live stage performers that I'm not necessarily familiar with, especially the active talent that he would have available then. Because I'm sure the characters' ages and things would be a big deal. So it's not like a lot of his films have a whole lot of super young performers anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
I think that will come into play, especially given the character that's set up for the story here.
Fair enough. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get reviews of that early next year.